Hey guys, it's Fayon here on a beautiful Sunday, and I want to share with you how to do the owl, or how to start approaching how to learn the owl, which is a baby cartwheel. It comes from capoeira, or at least the name owl comes from capoeira, because the cartwheel comes from many disciplines. And so I want to break that down for you today so that you can learn it in some easy steps and get started. Let's go. So the first step in learning the owl is how to do the Rolê, which is a precursor move, which anyone can do, and it's really easy. I've done a video on this before, so I'll just cover this off quickly, but if you want more detail, I recommend you check out my previous video. So in the Rolê, starting from the squat position, I'm then going to put my weight into my left hand, lean over, really support that weight into the hand, reach over with my right, bring my legs around, look through my legs, bring my left leg around, and then back into squat. And so this is a side traveling movement, like so. And this is the first step in learning the owl, because in this move, you start learning how to trust the weight of putting your weight into your hands and the coordination of traveling sideways. So very important. When I do it this way, you'll see it in better action. So actually, I'll come towards you. So here I'm really supporting my weight as I go around. So it's really important to start knowing how to use and transfer your weight into the new base of support being your hands rather than always being in your legs. And so that's why you should learn the Rolê before you start learning the owl. After you're comfortable with the Rolê, you can start breaking the owl down into components. So the entry is what I call the owl freeze, and this will help you understand the positional awareness in how to enter into the owl. So it starts off similar like the Rolê. I come over and then I bring the top leg up and I try and externally rotate it. I try and point the knee all the way up to the sky. Notice how my bottom leg is also straight, and I just freeze and hold that position and learn to start putting more weight into the hands and connecting myself to this outer glute. It's very important because the hips are what you need to bring up and over your hands, being your base of support, so that you can lift off and be airborne with your hips whilst you cartwheel over. And it doesn't happen just through pure shoulder strength alone. You can also help by using your hips to help pull you up and over. So this move really helps start building the base so that you can start understanding how to do this movement. So doing it on the other side, from here, remember when you're reaching over as well, don't just reach here. Learning how to space manage yourself is very important. So it helps to reach a bit further. Otherwise, if you can imagine, if I reach really close, I'm really cramped. I'm gonna have to really flex my spine. It's not very comfortable. So you can reach a bit further, like so. And as I pull my weight over, I straighten the bottom leg. I pull the top leg so that I'm trying to point the knee all the way up to the sky, and I hold. And then come back down. So this is the second important step that will help teaching you how to perform a really nice looking owl. So your best friend in learning the owl is to use the wall. Just like when you're learning the handstand, we can use the wall to assist us when we don't understand the balance so much, in progressively making it more and more easier and difficult when we need it, so that we can help understand what is happening in this movement, especially when you go inverted and the world turns upside down and you don't know what's going on. So the first step in using the wall is similar like what we did before, except now you're going to use the wall as a target. And this is really, really nice, because how do we understand where we are in space, especially when we're upside down? So a very simple method of knowing where we are in space is tactile feedback. So with the wall, we can use that to touch with our foot, and that will tell us where our legs are in position in space when we're upside down. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna set up just to the side of the wall and I'm about 45 degrees away from it. I'm gonna go over to my right and I'm gonna perform the owl freeze as like before, except the top leg is gonna try and tap the wall behind me. So I'm gonna come over, extend the bottom leg, reach, and you can see here with that top leg, I'm tapping the wall. I come back, come over again, extend, tap the wall, and come back. When you do this, make sure that you choose a distance where you can actually tap the wall, because the tapping is the important part. That is what is going to start teaching us where our body is in space as we take our legs over, so that later on when you do that, you're going to be a bit more comfortable, not just freak out and just start guessing. So that's the next step. Once you start becoming comfortable with that whole owl freeze movement, and you can bring that knee up as high as you can touch the wall, now we can start putting in a little hop, and that will start simulating a little bit more of the movement. So starting next to the wall, once again, I'm going to enter into the owl freeze, and then I'm going to hop until I touch the wall and come back down. And notice how I paused a little bit. All my weight was in my hands, but I didn't have to really worry about balance because the wall is back there supporting me. So that's the trick. So I come over, hop, touch, and back down. And as you can imagine, when you first start, it can just be a little hop and you might not get as much air time, but as you get more and more stronger, you'll be able to freeze and then take both your legs off and just hold that position. So when you start, it might just be little hop like that until you get stronger, hop, until again, hop, and then you can freeze in this position and then come back down. So practice that for a few sets on each side until you start getting that strength to hold all your weight in both your hands. So that is the next step with evolving in the owl. So in the owl or cartwheel, you then have to switch over with your legs in space and then land over to the other side. So like this. To start using the wall to your advantage and understanding that, what we can do is when we enter into the wall, you can do your hop, freeze, and then just start playing around with your legs like this to start bringing them together, not worrying about the balance. I'm just using my legs there. And this will help you start to understand how to switch the legs in the air whilst not really worrying about the balance, because when you start doing that, sometimes when you're free, it's a bit too much, and so we can just take that element away. So once again, with this, start closer to the wall when you first start, because that will make it easier. So here I'm starting pretty close, and then as I come, I hop. I can then hold this diamond shape as well, and then come down as I switch the legs. And then as you get better, you can start taking it away from the wall. And once you start taking it away from the wall, that will actually demand more of your use of your hands so that you actually start balancing. So that's how we can progressively make it harder. So start close to the wall at first when you're just starting off, and then I'm gonna take a step back, and then that will make it harder because as you kick that top leg, it will have to reach further until a point where if you reach too much, you might fall backwards, but it's okay because you got the wall. So in that case, I go here, I come up here, and then if I was to push with my hands more, I would actually be balancing. So that's a really easy way to start progressively making the owl more difficult, all the way until you're completely off the wall you can perform it with confidence without having to touch your legs behind you. So if you ever get stuck, just take it back to the wall, break it down to the steps beforehand, start thinking about two things. How do I connect to my outer glute as it tries to drag my knee up into the air, because that will give you some positional awareness. Your body communicates once you start like contracting muscles. And then also when you touch the wall, like with your feet, that tactile feedback will also give you the awareness of where you are in space when you're balancing. So this is a really super simple way of learning the owl. Start with the Rolê, go into the freeze, and then just gradually start close to the wall, coming further away. And then before you know it, you'll be spinning around in circles, just free, without the use of the wall. Then you can start playing around with it with some other moves as well. The owl is a lot of fun because, yeah, doing cartwheels is awesome. So I hope you guys enjoyed this breakdown today. If you have any questions, just chuck it in the comments below, and I'll see you guys in the next video.